to hear from her, and she will be here shortly, like 2 minutes, maybe less. So we're in June. Almost halfway through June. Next week is Juneteenth. There's a couple of events that are going on. I know there's an event going on in Harbor Point. And there's also Juneteenth, where we're having parades and all types of events. And yeah, I think next week is going to be a good week. My guest has arrived. Good morning, Miss Erica.
Good morning, Priscilla.
I'm good. I'm so glad to see you.
Good to see
Bright
you.
and shiny and
Yes.
smiling and
Of course.
happy.
Yeah, today's a great day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm so happy you was able to come in.
Of course.
So
For you, anything.
some of you all might know Erica from the DeWitt Center, but she has an impressive bio. I'm just gonna read it real quick. Erica Davis is a powerhouse in real estate, entrepreneurship, and community impact. As a black woman developer, house flipper, oh my God, my eyes, investor, and licensed agent, Erica is building barriers and building legacy. She is the founder of Erica Davis Estates, a woman-owned development firm with a growing portfolio of luxury units in Boston. Known for her exquisite taste and eye for interior design, Erica sets a new standard in modern elegance and sophistication. A savvy investor and dedicated agent with Thumbprint Realty. Tell my friend Alexa I said hi. Alex, I said hello.
Oh, well.
Erica not only grows her own portfolio but also guides first-time home buyers to home ownership with little money down. Her work goes beyond sales. She opens doors to opportunity. There's a little rooted in faith, love for her family, and a zest for life. Erica lives boldly, mentoring, inspiring, and improving that with purpose and vision there are no limits. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
I met Erica. Me and Erica used to fellowship at the same church, Kingdom Builders, right?
Yes.
And that's how I met her. And we became, became colleagues, I guess, first before we became friends. But
Yeah.
Erica worked at the Madison Park Development Corporation, and they had just started this new program with youth where they were sending youth to different job sites. At that time, I think it was mostly nonprofits. And they were sending youth there to be trained. And the best word she said to me was, "We got youth, and we'll send them to your agency, and we'll pay them." And that was, and that was the word. And I've been with Madison Park now 10 years. Erica transitioned into the DeWitt Center, and she was there for a long time. And then when she left, Jeannie Matos came, and
Yeah.
me and Jeannie had become tight too. You know, it's just like when you work with children. Yes, when you work with children, you definitely have you have to have the passion and the love for the youth. And I tell you, Jeannie Matos is one of those, as was Erica. So, Miss Erica, tell us about your adventures and what you've been doing.
Of course. Well, thank you. Let me say thank you first, Priscilla, for taking on some challenging youth when I was running the youth workforce program. You did a great job. You're still doing a great job. You were one of the only people who were like, I will take whatever youth you send me.
Yes.
And I promise you they'll come back better. So you had definitely lived out that statement. And I want to applaud you for the work you're now doing. Still, decade ago, you're still doing work with young people, keeping them civically engaged. So I tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
So, like Priscilla mentioned, I'm Erica Davis. I am a real estate developer in Boston, Massachusetts. And what that is I purchase property, I rehab it, and then I rent it out. I have a portfolio throughout Boston. I own 5 multifamilies, and my goal is to always design my units as if I'm going to live in it. I want to make sure that I'm providing quality housing to anyone who's looking for a place to live. I have a niche where I have built relationships with an adjuster who provides me with fire victims who have experienced, their house being burnt down and they're looking for housing. And the reason why I'm into providing this type of housing for these type of clients is because fire victims, they are currently homeowners who have been displaced because of a fire. So they definitely maintain your units, and they are only there for about no more than 3 years, right? And then of course the unit opens up. I do also have other tenants who are voucher based, and then also have tenants who pay market rent. But overall, my vision has always been to provide quality housing. And during the process, as I'm developing my units, I allow young people to shadow me so they can learn, the process of acquiring property from beginning to end, from purchasing the house to rehabbing it and to getting it rented if I'm going to keep it. Sometimes I sell the house if I have a partner on the deal or if I just don't want it. And that's mostly single families I'm selling. I only sold one multifamily because I converted into condos, and we let that one go.
Very good, very good. So where are your properties mostly at? Are they in?
All of my properties that I own are in Boston, Mass.
Okay, all right. So what made you decide to get into real estate while you were working with the youth? What
I feel the first property that I purchased, and I actually still live in it. I had to do the in-laws over. My grandparents was living on the second floor, and I wanted to move in to live closer to them. So I didn't want to share a unit with them. We already had the first floor rented, so I rehabbed the basement into in-laws. And as I was doing the project, I was like, whoa, I'm pretty good at this. Of course, you go through I would say the experience with contractors. Once you get it done, you get it done.
Yeah,
but the interior design piece, I had a niche that I was like, oh, I got an eye. So from there, I just took off. Then I just purchased another multifamily, did the same thing, and then purchased another one. And during that process, I obtained my real estate license and started helping people who didn't think they can actually afford in Boston to purchase a house in Boston. I helped one of my close friends, shout out to P Fly, Patosh Francis, purchase her first house in Boston, and she got a lot of down payment assistance. And at the time, she was looking to live in the outskirts. She was looking at Brockton because she was feeling like,
couldn't afford Boston.
You know how it goes.
Yep.
But there are programs that first-time home buyers could take advantage of that a lot of people don't know about, right? There's even new programs out now, and I'll just mention one that if you're a first-time home buyer, two people can couple up and they both receive down payment assistance. So if the city's giving, say if the city gives one person $50,000, they'll give two people $50,000, and they can both purchase a multifamily. So that's $100,000 that you can acquire to actually purchase a multifamily. And we know that type of funding is needed to live in Boston.
But don't those properties come with deed restrictions? Are those
No,
these don't?
They're
Okay.
not deed restriction. This is just, if you want to purchase a multifamily, you have to be a first-time home buyer. Two people can own it together. So say if me and you wanted to purchase a house, the program would give me $50,000 and give you $50,000, and we can use that money to acquire a multifamily. But we do have to live in the house. So you would have to live on one floor. I would have to live on another floor, and then the level up would be, I would say, if you have a basement, you would get some more city funding to do the ADU over. Do the basement over and turn it into an ADU. So then you guys could acquire, bring in more rents. You'll have two units that will bring in income that can cover that mortgage.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs that our folks don't know about. One of the programs that I really like is MAHA, Mass Affordable Housing Alliance. I love their program. I believe they're having some type of an event coming up too. They're the ones that started the Soft Second program.
Yeah.
When they were redlining us back in the late 80s, 90s, Maha was born. And from what I understand now, they're over those from like say 1990 to now, they've helped close to 30,000 first-time home buyers. And it's been all over Massachusetts, not just in Boston. And so different places give you different down payment assistance. And I guess maybe Boston may have the better one, but there's the ones that some of them are deed restricted. And 50 years deed restriction is just a little bit too long for me. Your mortgage is only 30 years, so why do they put a 50-year deed restriction on you? I don't understand that.
Well, just to add to that, DB Dana Bowman, right? So Dana, he
Yep,
used to
yep,
work with you. He
yep.
bought a deed restricted unit, Sage on Fountain, and I think it's a perfect play, only because Sage, when they developed it, they had a clause that says, yes, it's a deed restricted unit. Yeah, you can move into this unit. You have to be at a certain income bracket, but once you move in, you can make as much money as you want, and you can have investment properties. So that means he's living in a deed restricted unit, and we are actually in the process of buying an investment property. So what he would do is he'll be part owner or owning his own investment property and still can live in a deed restricted unit. So it depends on what you're purchasing, because everyone's deed restrictions have different clauses with whoever's the developer and whatever clauses they put in.
But does 50-year deed restriction sound reasonable?
I mean, for Sage on Fountain, I think it's perfect. I don't require how long it is because they're saying you can make as much money as you want and live in this deed restricted unit, and you can go own investment properties. So
Outside of you can go get other
and your
properties.
mortgage is set at what it's set at. So say if your mortgage is $1,300 and then you making $200,000 a year, your mortgage is never going to change. As long as you live here, you can own investment properties. So if your family may grow,
that. I wonder if people know that, because a lot of times people they purchase homes and they may live in these deed restrictions, but they may not know about that clause.
That particular development had that clause. I'm not sure about every other, but you got to really know, you got to read the fine lines, because there are some, like you mentioned, that doesn't give you the opportunity to own other investment properties while you're living there. We know that the majority of the deed restricted units require you to, occupy the unit.
Right.
We know that much. But you're getting the house, you're getting whatever you are for a low price.
Okay.
Right?
So what about what was I going to say? Oh God, I lost my train of thought.
You had something about deed restricted units.
So if you're in a deed restricted unit, you cannot you saying you can make as much money as you want and the rent won't change. Which that would, I mean, the mortgage won't change.
In that particular unit, when Sage on Fountain allows whoever lives there who purchased a deed restricted unit, once you get in, right? To get in, you had to be in a certain income bracket.
Okay.
Right? You couldn't make $1 million and live there.
Right.
But once you get in, sky's the limit. You can make as much money as you want, and as long as you live there, you can, own other investment properties. But we know when you purchase a second property, the down payment that you have to put down is extremely high.
Yeah, right. So you basically have to just kind of like save your money and stuff.
Yeah.
If you were trying to buy another one. But a lot of people just want a home, just want somewhere to live safe, so. And
then even if you do live in a deed restricted unit, there's also other ways you can still purchase investment properties. There's just strategies and tricks that you have to implement to still acquire these, to get an investment property.
You said tricks.
Yeah, there's tricks. There's plenty of them.
So, I thought I heard you run classes. Do you do some type of first time home buying classes?
No, what I did was I did a mentorship program with a group of young people so they can shadow me. I'm hoping to do another one on my upcoming project. I'm already like halfway through a project. So in my upcoming project, I'm going to put together a group of young people to shadow me from beginning to end. And the goal is...
That's a good training too.
Yeah, to give them exposure, to give them experience, to understand the power of real estate. Real estate is an extremely good way to build wealth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways to build wealth.
Yeah, one of the, yeah.
So, tell me how do you choose the young folks that shadow you?
So the first group of young people who shadowed me were, one was a young person who wanted to purchase a house. The other one was a young person who wanted to get into property management. The other one was a young person who thought they wanted to become an architect, and the other one I just threw in because he was my nephew, and I'm like, you're gonna get this knowledge.
Yeah, I hear you.
So how I'm going to choose my next group. There's been people reaching out to me. It's been a lot of parents reaching out to me, right? So
Parents for you to teach their children, or parents to get in the program?
mixture of both, because can they attend with their child.
Yeah.
So
That's good though. I like that, because some parents should,
absolutely.
I would like for some parents to come to our program, when we
Yeah.
teach our youth, because I know a lot of them don't know nothing about civic engagement, and some of the things that we teach, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is, I wish I had a thought about it years ago, because if you have an idea and if you have a mindset, you can really get some things done. But also, there's this nonprofit world that is just kind of cuckoo for cocoa puffs, if you ask me. I just like,
Yeah.
it's really tough. But if you have your mindset to do something, I think that you can do it, especially if you have a good mentor or someone that really knows what they're doing and knows the business and stuff. So how did you wind up at Thumbprint?
Me and Alex are childhood friends.
Okay.
Him and my close friend Patosh are cousins, so we grew up together.
Okay.
And I was in the process of becoming a real estate agent, and he was like, do this, do that, and when you do this and do that, come be an agent at Thumbprint. And Alex has been a mentor in many ways as well. A great individual overall, well-rounded, not only just as an agent, but as a family man, as a husband, as a father. He has great qualities. When you're looking for someone who's gonna give you insight on just not real estate, but they can also give you insight on just life in general. So we grew up together, and he got into real estate while I went off to college. And then from there, he built his brokerage, and I joined. And from there, it's been nothing but great things.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what other ventures are you doing?
Thanks for asking. So at the moment, I'm currently, not only am I doing real estate, I don't know if you know this, but I do run a nonprofit. So my nonprofit is Zeola Home Care. I've been running this for a while.
What's it called?
Zeola Home Care.
Okay, what do you do?
So I named it after, shout out to Big T, Tiffany. I named it after her, a close friend of mine whose mother passed away about, it could have been 5-6 years ago. So I provide in-home care for seniors who want to age in place.
Oh, okay.
So it's so they don't have to go to the nursing home, or they don't have to be displaced from their home, right? If you have to go live with a daughter or whatever the case may be, providing in-home care, which is non-medical care, right? So someone who can be a companion, someone can help you cook your food, someone who can help do a variety of things for you right in your house. So it's more so like you have someone who lives in home with you to support you with your your ADL, your basic needs of living, so it can be easy for you to stay in your residence. And I'm also an investor, right? So I always am looking for crafty things to invest in. So I have vetted a few different, and this is my opinion, I vetted a few noble companies who, were invested in oil, who was invested in real estate, and on the lines where I can offer my funds, and they're managing properties in different states for me. And I have found two great different organizations to do this for me. And the goal is that the capital that I obtained from my fix and flips, or whatever the case may be, from my rents, then now that I could start making my money work for me. You do generate income from rents, but now you have to make that money work so you can, make more money. So I invested in oil through a noble company. They really manage the majority of the background of it. You just have to be a noble accredited investor, be able to invest X amount of funds, and then you get your payout monthly. And then with the real estate piece, there's an agency that they have acquired. I mean, they're killing it. They have acquired so many different properties all throughout the United States, and you can get the property for them. They actually purchase the property, they rehab the property, you can pay for the property, and they are managing the property for you from everything that goes with the unit, finding the tenant, any of the maintenance, any of the repairs, and they just send you your rents every month. So that's another thing that I'm into. And then I'm also investing into electrical scooters overseas. So those are my four major sources of investments, and I see myself as a full-time investor who's always looking for a crafty new, I would say, business venture that actually is going to be long-term investments. I do believe in short-term investment as well, but I'm pretty young, so I'm still looking for, to make more money as I age than making a lot right now.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not looking for, I mean, who doesn't want a quick lump sum of money, but I truly believe in long-term investment.
Right, right. Well, that's wonderful. It seems like you have really grown your portfolio and your different investments, and so it looks like you're on your way, and that's a blessing, right? Yeah. So, and you do take care of your grandparents, so that's a blessing as well. And so I think that you would be you're a great asset to our community, to our folks, to our young, especially like our young people, I know, like Dana was in my class, and I see him, what he's doing, and he just seems to be flourishing, and it's a blessing to see him. That's what I would like to do. I'm planning a major fundraiser on October 18th.
Yeah.
And I want to bring back all the kids that or the
nice.
ones that I could find,
Yeah.
because it's been 10 years. 2015 is when I started with Madison Park.
Wow.
It's been 10 years since I've been at this radio station.
Yeah.
So I want to do a big, major fundraiser, and try to bring my youth, back. I would love to see, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Caleb, yes. I would love to see him. Because, our young folks, especially now, they go through so much. They really deal with a lot of trauma. They deal, and this social media stuff just got them all hooked up and wrapped up. But it's a blessing to see our young folks graduate, go through high school, go through college, and start careers. And some of them, some of them, all of them don't make it, unfortunately. But the ones that do, it's a blessing. And so I think that's what keeps me young, is hanging with these young folks.
Yeah. I mean, young people are unique in their own right. You'll learn a lot from them, and as you're teaching them, they're teaching you.
Right.
But a lot of them, I say the majority of them do make it because they make it out of the circumstance or whatever their upkeeping was, their upbringing was. It's just that they all just hit different marks.
Right.
Because I can't, even if I look at my generation, we all we made it to whatever level we wanted to make it to, and we're still, grinding and building and establishing our legacy for the next generation. But the great thing about it is that even though we all may be at different levels, we're all evolving.
Right.
It's just that we all are into different things.
Yeah.
We have different interests, and we had, different starting points too.
Right. And there's a lot of things that can be done. A lot of inventions. Young folks. 3 of my young people that graduated this May from Marcus Anthony, they literally created a T-shirt line, a hoodie line.
What's the name of it?
Paradox, I think. I think that's the name of it.
Yep.
Yeah, Jamari and Akimi and
He was telling me about it.
Yeah. He graduated the other day.
Yeah.
He graduated yesterday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta hit them up.
But it's just it's just amazing when you listen to these young folks, and the ideas and the things that they come up with and the things that they want to do, and sometimes for whatever reason they are limited. But I think that the work that Madison Park Development Corporation is doing, Jeannie, how she's bringing in all these different programs, cosmetology, allowing kids to be able to get their driver's license, I mean, these are things that barbering, and these are different types of trades that young folks can get into that they probably wouldn't even think about it if this program wasn't available,
Absolutely.
So,
Jeannie does a great job at
she
it.
does.
She has a youthful heart.
Yeah.
And a wild imagination of what young people can do.
Right.
With no cutoff.
Right. She just goes like, I got this program.
Yeah.
I got this program. I'm like, my goodness, Jeannie. It's like, when do you sleep? She always talk about me. I'm like, she's just amazing. We were at the site supervisors meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the summer's coming. July and August, we'll be out there.
How many young people are you getting?
I don't know.
How many did you ask for?
I asked her, I think, for between 5 to 10, because some of our youth were going to do another program. But more than likely, I'll probably wind up with 10, because she'll give me 5, and then she'll call me 2 days later. Oh, I have another student. Can you take another one? And I'll be like, yes. She always, can you take another one?
That last minute placement.
Yes,
threw
yes,
them in.
And I wind up with at least 10, the minimum. And then sometimes I take young folks that are not part of Madison Park that I just stipend.
Yeah.
And it's been rewarding to me, because you can pull some stuff out of these young folks, and so I like it. I enjoy it. I'm just a little tired, but you got to do what you got to do, right?
But you're still making a big difference, not only in their lives, but in the world, right? Because the better our young people are, the better the world is.
Yes.
Right.
So I want to say good morning to my engineer, Pastor Bruce Wall.
PB.
How are you doing this morning, Pastor?
I am doing exceptionally well and better now seeing you.
I know. Fast time. I missed you.
It's been
A long time. You
Yeah.
making some crazy video? I know you got something brewing.
now into AI. What?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm learning its capacity.
Yeah. Are you studying it?
I've been looking online. They have all these folk that are willing to teach you.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't feel like spending any more money online. There's got to be some folk in the community that have mastered this and that will sit with a 77-year-old man and help me.
Who's very tech savvy at that,
Still trying to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, he built this radio station. This radio station been here for 15 years,
Yeah.
and he built it without going to one class.
Yeah.
So, he's amazing. He should be at
I'm gonna go
BU,
through
MIT.
MIT.
Yeah.
There's some AI workshops that I've been taking. I'll send you the information. It's showing you how to, you can take an image and create a video with that image by prompting AI.
He's also taken images and changed people. He's was it last week or the week before last?
She's sitting there going, click, click, click. I grabbed her image. But when she left, I said, "Here's a picture of you." It is exciting. When I get completely bored, I'm there. Last night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm saying, turn this into a video. I want a video
Using AI?
with me.
Yeah.
AI. I said I want to play golf like my son does, and I want to send him an image. I just couldn't figure it out, but I'll be back at it tonight.
Prompt AI. You gotta do a prompt like a 72-year-old man playing on a golf course in Florida, wearing a white shirt, black pants, holding a prompt that you have to explain it to a T. Right? He's shooting to hit the ball in the cup. Explain it to a T, and then it'll generate it. You got to be very you have to add a lot of descriptions. Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll work on that. So by the time you're through with the interview, we'll have it.
Yeah, you'll have a video of us, right?
Wow.
So I know AI. I'm telling you,
It's
I think
advancing
it is,
Quickly.
very quickly.
and I think it's advancing too quick for me, because every time I go, there's something different, and I get frustrated, but I hang in there. But then I be like, nah, I don't want to do this. It's a lot. My mind ain't as young as it used to be.
Yeah. We just all have to get on the right side of where technology is going.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah,
It's not,
definitely.
It's happening. And it's happening extremely fast, and you have to be a student.
Yeah. I have a friend, Deborah Sharif, who is the communications director at Massasoit College. And when COVID hit, she's always doing the AI stuff, and she's an author. She's done she deals a lot with communications, and she basically she got this AI stuff. She's like, She even did when she was in Vegas. She did a training with me and my youth. She did 2 trainings for us. One was around doing your own bio, creating your own book, and then she did something with us with Chat GPT or something. But
Do you use ChatGPT?
once in a great while, but I'm not crazy about it.
Okay.
I mean, I like to have my own thoughts, but sometimes when you need something quick, you know you can, like a contract or something that you know. But it's I'm just like, I don't know. I just like to have my own thoughts, because they're my thoughts. They ain't chat PT. But I know a lot of people. Use it, you know, and so it is definitely.
It gets the job
coming.
done a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
Way quicker, right?
Yeah.
And as we all know, it's gonna replace a lot of
People. Yeah,
It's-
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
you don't have to deal with their personality.
Right. But yeah, it's definitely taken over, and I'll be in the woods somewhere, right in there chilling, because this world is a little wacky.
It would be great if we just have, and I'm going to pity back off what you mentioned, Pastor. We should have a class for seniors, AI intro level class, and then of course the class can elevate based off of if you graduate from like 101, then you take 102. But that would be, I think that would be needed,
Definitely.
right? So
Yeah.
shout out to Age Strong. They should do that, right?
Right.
Years ago, before the radio station was here, and it was a teen center, this room, that room, the inner room, and the dining room was filled to capacity every Saturday with senior citizens. We're teaching them how to become Microsoft certifiable, teaching them how to use computers. That was over 20, 25 years ago. And I see a lot of these seniors till today, and they still ask, do you have a class? I think you can attract people to the AI experience, because they need it. Even if they don't understand it, they need it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to keep pushing you.
Come on, Priscilla. You got this. You're working with young people.
I know. And I'm always going to them for stuff too.
They'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah. I'll be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? But then they do it so quick that, sometimes they just, like, my niece, she'll be like, and she'll do it in like in a minute. And I'm like, what did you do? Because they do it so quick, but yeah. It's the world is.
It's advancing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's AI is going to be able to do a lot of things. I was just watching a podcast yesterday, and it's saying that AI is going to be able to, or is already, but they just haven't released it, detect, cancer in stage 1. You know how many lives that's going to save? So they're using it. Not only, of course, we know to create papers and contracts and all of this, but the medical field is also going to be using it.
Yeah.
It's going to advance the medical field. If we know that there's going to be, we heard all about it, that there's already robots, right? That there's going to be what they call cabs, Tesla cabs, which people are going to be able to sit in a car. There's no driver, and it's going to take you to your destination.
Well, I'm not getting in that car.
That's how fast. That's how fast
I've heard
AI
of that.
is elevating.
Yeah, I don't want no car.
You don't even need to pay for a driver no more. You own the car, and it's a Tesla cab, and it actually brings you to your locations. And then once you get out and you go where you need to, you can go make money off of it, and it can go pick other people up and drop them off.
That's crazy. My son loves to golf, and his golfing partner has a little bit of money and owns a Tesla. When they're through golfing, they're standing outside. They don't have to look for the car, or they call the car, and the car backs out of wherever it's at, comes all the way around all the other cars, and picks them up. That is insane and crazy. But it's already here. It's here.
It's already happening. And they're just going to advance it more and more. And I'm actually excited about it. Right. Who doesn't want to? I definitely want a driver. You know how much stuff you can get done in the passenger seat?
Right, I know that, but they gotta be somebody.
I mean, as long as I got a brake, I got a brake at my feet.
Oh, is there a brake in the back?
I'm not sure if there's a
Yeah,
brake.
yeah, that'd be
There has to
interesting.
be some type of emergency something.
That's scary to me.
But it's probably there's so many sensors on the vehicle, right? But the vehicle is programmed to do just that, to
Take you
get
where you
people to
wanna
their
go.
destinations, to be a cab. That's gonna change Uber and Lyft
Mm-hmm.
because you're not gonna
Just
need
like
the people.
Uber and Lyft has changed
Changed.
taxi cabs.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
come
that's
back
because
around.
because cab drivers weren't able to get cabs. Like they didn't come to Roxbury, they didn't, and
Yeah.
so people were like, well, because I think it stems from the gypsy cabs, right? People get in their cars and they would, be at the supermarkets,
Right.
want a cab,
Mhm.
and I think that's where the Uber idea actually came from,
Mhm.
and then you have Uber and you have Lyft, and
But when Uber and Lyft first came out, everyone was skeptical. Oh, I'm not
Right,
getting in a
right,
car with a stranger.
right.
yeah.
Now you hop in it without thinking about it, right?
Oh, I still check the license plate.
Yeah.
And they have the cameras on the inside of the Ubers that will see what's in front of you and also see what's happening in the back. That's for their protection, but also your protection.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because people were getting beat up and all kinds of crazy things. Some of the drivers, some of the passengers. So
For the most part,
Yeah.
every time I was in an Uber or an Lyft, the drivers were pretty decent, no issues.
yeah,
at
I
all.
didn't. I never had a problem with
No.
one.
Very nice
yeah,
people.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you get in a conversation with them.
Yeah,
They yeah.
You know, you just got to communicate and, be impressionable.
Yeah.
I know Boston pretty good.
I remember I did I was doing a program with the Women's Fund, and they actually gave me an Uber ride from Boston to Plymouth. They had this nice spa thing, it was something that they did for our cohort, and it was nice. The guy was nice. I'm like, but sometimes you still do have to be cautious, because folks are crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, so tell us what other adventures that you're doing.
I want to just
Erica.
reiterate that, just as anyone who's listening, that I will be selecting 5 to 10 students to shadow me on an upcoming project that I should be starting in September. It's going to be I purchased a multifamily in Boston, and I am converting it to 4 units. So young people will have the opportunity to shadow me from beginning to end. You can reach out to me. I'm going to be
Give me
creating.
information.
Yeah, you can follow me on social media. It's ED Estates. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach out to me there.
So how are my little friends doing? Your
Oh.
nieces. I love them kids. They are the best. They're models now.
Skyla and Summer, yes, they're not only are they models, they are
Stars.
they are to me some of the I would say they are well behaved, well mannered, and easygoing as young people. I mean, their mother did a great job. I think I tell this to her all the time with all of her children. She didn't have to experience like the teenage years where it's like, what's going on with my kid? I don't even know who this kid is. She did a great job with all 3 of her children. But yes, Skylar and Summer was having a fashion show. It's going to be at the Strand Theater.
Oh yeah,
It's
with
going
Chic.
to be with Chic. I don't want to mess up on the date, but I believe I know it's in August. It's either August 17th or the 21st, but one of those dates. That information would also be on social media. So please come out to their fashion show. They hosted one last year. They had a
Yes.
great turnout. And we are looking for it to be bigger and better this year.
Of course, if it's at the Strand.
Elevating.
That's bigger.
Yeah.
Because it was at City Hall.
Yeah.
At City Hall on the grounds there, but it was small. I think it was too small.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. It was really nice. She does a wonderful job. Parties from Above. She's awesome, and it's just amazing that she was Marcus Anthony's son's mother.
I
you know,
know.
and the way we connected, and she's just.
Yeah, I went to school with Marcus. We was good friends in
You
school.
did?
Yeah, he went to English. We went to school together.
I thought he went to Charlestown.
Oh, I thought if that's the same person, I thought he was at English.
Marcus Anthony, the one that got killed.
Yeah, I thought he was at English for 1 year.
He might have been at English, but when they gave us the information about him, said that he grew up. He went to Charlestown High, and somebody else said that he went to Charlestown High with them too. So maybe he did 1 year English and then transferred, somewhere else. But yeah, his son is sweet too, Yoda. He's like, I think Yoda's 13 now. Yeah,
It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, she did a good job with him. With both of her kids.
Yeah.
And she's smart. I mean, she got it going on. I want her to give me a party. Because it's.
Do your interior decoration for? You said you have an event on October what?
18th.
18th. She can. Yeah. Do the interior.
She did. She did one of my graduations for me.
And that was at the Bruce Bowling building.
Yeah, and I'm like, they ain't gonna never let us back in there because she had so much stuff. She was just like, no, I kept saying, that's enough. She's like, no, this got to be lit. I was like, and we had to leave half of the stuff there. They had an event the next morning. They're calling me like, you gotta come get this stuff out of here. I was like,
y'all can use it.
But she's a sweet person. I really like her a lot, and the work that she does in the prisons and stuff,
Yes.
So she has a good heart. She really does, And I tell you, she did a birthday party for somebody, right? It was like a pajama party, and all the kids had their own beds with the little tents up. I was like, my goodness. I mean, her imagination is just, like everybody had their own bed. When you.
She's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
I mean, she has the vision and she puts it together. And I have always seen her do it by herself.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, wow.
Yeah. She sometimes she gets some help, but she basically she rocks.
Yeah.
And
it looks amazing at the end.
Oh, it's beautiful. She just it's definitely a gift from God,
It is.
So yeah, but
and her purpose of who she's doing it for makes a difference as well. Doing it for children who have lost a father or a mother.
Yes, and it doesn't matter like how they lost them. It just I have 8 minutes. Wow, that hour went quick.
Yeah.
See, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Especially when you're having fun with the right person, right?
Yeah. I just maybe I'll have you come in as one of my speakers.
Sure.
Yeah. We probably won't do too much, and I don't know. We have the program. We had a program set up, but something happened, so that fell apart. But I always got a ram in the bush, So I may not have as many youth, but we're definitely gonna be doing some stuff. Voter registration, voter education, mobilization. We got to get our folks out there. This is election year, an important election year.
Absolutely. I want to mention that I have a condo that is off market that's for sale. So if anyone is looking to purchase, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Don't say the price.
I will not say the price, but it's in Boston, Mass. If you're a first-time home buyer, you should jump on this because you can get a lot of city funding. It's in a great location. You do have a deeded parking spot. So if you're looking to purchase a condo, it's a condo that is it's an attached single family, so that's why it's a condo. So it's in a complex that have a whole bunch of attached single families. Again, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and it has like a finished basement as well. So you have backyard, and you don't really have a front yard, but you do have a deeded parking spot. So if you're looking, reach out to me.
They gotta know how to reach out to you. Give me your information,
yes.
number or something, email or something. I know
totally
everybody's
correct.
on Instagram and stuff, but it's nothing wrong with that phone number.
You can reach out to me at 617-293-2576. Again, 617-293-2576.
So what do you have planned for the summer?
For the
When does your project start? The one that you're gonna pick?
I'm doing 2 projects right now. I have a single family that I'm doing in Boston, and I have a multi-family that I'm rehabbing in Boston. And then I have another project that I'm going to be starting once this multi-family is over. And then I'm going to be going through the process of doing I want to partner with, I'm thinking there's this agency that I'm working with that is looking to provide housing for mothers who are, in the process of getting a Section 8 voucher, but they have to go to a shelter. So I'm thinking about partnering with them to do a development that will be about 12 to 15 units, which would be in Boston, just because I feel like a lot of the people, especially black and brown, when it comes to needing a shelter, it's really hard for them to find them.
Of course.
Really hard for them to find them. So this agency has been around for a while. They are looking for units. So I was under the impression, because I am working with someone that is a great family friend, and we are in the process of getting some architectural plans for a parcel of land that they own, and we're looking to do a big development. So our idea was let's identify, like, who do we want to develop for, right? And one of the ideas I came up with is, if we are targeting, people who really need housing, who is, in shelters. We know that there's a homelessness epidemic. We know that there's not enough shelters. So there's agency who actually acquire homes from homeowners. They'll call you to say, hey, how many bedrooms does your house have? Can we rent out your entire house? And what they'll do is they'll take that house and they'll make it a shelter. Right, so if you build
have them call me.
I will. If you build a larger development, that development can be their scattered site, and they're always looking for a large amount of bedrooms. So they want like 13 to 15 bedrooms, right? Plus. Yeah. Because they would really want one location besides having to have 5 or 6 locations.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Have them call me.
I will.
Yeah. But it's just good to see people that look like me doing good things and great things in Boston. Because it doesn't happen all the time for whatever reason. Well, we know the reason, but we won't talk about that. But there are some great opportunities, and I'm glad to see that not only are you doing well, but you want to pour back in to other young folks.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I mean. It's no need of us. We have to. The youth, they're not only our future, they're our now. And so that's who we have to work with and bring them up, because we getting old, right, Pastor? Yeah.
And you have done your job for years, right? So it's time for my generation to put in some work.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And doing it well too. And to do something extremely well for a while is that young people still want to be in your program. They still want to be around you. They still show up.
Yeah.
That's a gift in itself.
Yeah.
And not to you'd be like, someone else can do this. That's why I always say I tip my hat, because it's not easy work. I know it's not easy working with young people.
Yeah.
Right?
They have their own mind. They live in their own world. But they're so bright. They're really bright. They're intelligent, and But maybe I'll go get a job in the schools. Working in the schools. I said,
that's a whole different breed.
I know. But they definitely need different teachers up in there. The school department is it needs some work. You give me the 4-minute warning, Pastor? So, he's giving me the 4-minute warning. So, I do have a couple people watching me. But good morning, everybody on Facebook. Glad that you all are here. Looking forward. This Sunday is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers, all the great fathers, all the wannabe fathers, and the youth fathers. Let's shout them out.
I would ditto that, and I would say a special happy Father's Day to my father, my grandfather, and my brother, who are all fathers. Oh, yeah. Just because I know it's not always easy being a father.
Yes.
Right, and they all have done it and are still doing it, against all odds. So happy Father's Day, not only to everyone else's father, but to the people who have been a father to me in my life.
Yes. So we are just about done. I would love for you to come back on again one day, Erica.
Absolutely.
Maybe after one of your projects is completed.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can come on and bring your youth that's shadowing you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've come a long way. You know,
I know.
from sitting in the studio, you and James Mackey taking over my program.
Oh yes, we did. Me and James Mackey did run your radio show one day.
Yeah.
We had some young people there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just I thank you for taking the time to come on and give us some information about what you're doing. Because we need young folks like you. You're young too, so you in that category of,
Absolutely.
starting different, doing something different. So I'm just thankful and I'm grateful to you for all you've done.
Thank you.
Because who knows, if it hadn't been for you, I may not even be still with Madison Park. So you opened that door for me, and I've always been appreciative.
Yeah, and you have done more than most. Like